And welcome back to my neglected garden, part whatever. There is Benji. Okay, for a good most of the day on my day off, which was yesterday, I have been transplanting all my Trichocereus cactus into this dodgy garden bed. And the garden bed's been set up for probably about a year now, maybe a little bit less, I'm not entirely sure. I did have a whole lot of the blueberries in there and it was overgrown, so I've ripped all the blueberries out. They are now back in pots, all starting to produce blueberries, by the way, so lots of flowers and stuff. But all the Trichocereus, my poor neglected, scarred up Trichocereus cactus, and there's a few cereus and a few other random bits and pieces, are all in this bed now. So hopefully this will work. Now it is pretty well draining, and yeah, we live in the subtropics, so they're fine outside all year round. Just been neglected for years. Now I started collecting Trichocereus probably a good 6 or 7 years ago. Yeah, a lot of them got fungal infections, which is like that scarring and all sorts of stuff. You name it, they've had issues with it, but now that they're planted in here, and I had to cut a whole lot of them down because, yeah, they just too top heavy, etc., they should hopefully take off. And I still have an absolute heap of Trichocereus that I need to repot and sort out. So you can see the horrible scar tissue, the new growth last year, which we started babying them again. So hopefully all the new growth will be fine and they'll be healthy plants. Only problem with that is when they grow and they're not 100%, yeah, you get absolutely horrible skinny plants, and as they get bigger, that can't support them and they topple over in the storms and all sorts of stuff. So a few of these I'm going to have to cut down and replant. I may even sort out the other garden bed that I've got, but not entirely sure yet. I'm going to figure out what we're doing with all that. But yes, lots of Trichocereus. Yeah, look at that. That is 1 year's growth. Look how dodgy it is down the bottom. I know. Same with that one. Look at that. Yeah, neglect anyone? There is some neglect. So we're going to deal with that. So I have been moving a few other bits and pieces around. Talking about neglect, look at this poor crest. Yeah. So I'm going to split these up, repot that in the next week. This one's not going too bad, except the top got knocked off in one of the storms, got damaged, so I had to cut that sort of side bit. And its two little pups are growing well. This, which is another Trichocereus, and Trichocereus are just a cactus from South America. They are an active cactus, so they got mescaline in them, which is a psychedelic. You can grow them, but you can't eat them, apparently. No, you can't, Benji. Don't eat the cactus. Luckily, Benji is not interested in cactus. But that is a weird-ass cactus, isn't it? Yes. Now, I do have a few more of them in here. Look how neglected this one was. So, lack of water makes them shrivel up like that, and then they're more prone to disease. Looking absolutely mingy. So, hopefully, in the next, let's give it about 6 weeks, so a couple of months, say, this should be all perky and look 100 times better. Hopefully, it should do. It's just very, very neglected, 5 years old, and yeah, looking mingy. Look how shriveled up it is. And it's probably, yeah, it's not plump, which just means that it hasn't had enough water in the pot and it hasn't absorbed and turned into a nice meaty cactus. Some of them have, like this one. The new growth is wonderful. Old growth, not so wonderful. Cereus, which are these, which are non-active. Again, South American cactus. Yeah, they have weird ribs to them. They grow super fast. That was the cactus that was way up there. Had to trim it down. I still have multiple pieces of it. All just giant pile of it, which I have to sort out there. More out there. Yeah, that's where we are. Golden torch, which is, I don't know if that's a Trichocereus. I don't think it is. It might be a Trichocereus. I don't know. I've lost track of the names of a lot of different ones. This is the only paddle one that you can get that is still legal in Queensland because it doesn't have the spikes to it. yeah, there's multiple illegal cactus and all sorts of silly things that you can get in different states in Australia, but these are all legal, so that is good. Yeah, another Cereus there. That's not the spiral Cereus, which I do have a spiral Cereus around there, which we'll look at in a bit. Now, I have tidied up this area, which was probably where I'm going to extend all these tubs for the hydroponics. I still have to move all these cactus, and these are not Trichocereus. They're from a deceased estate, so the lady that had these died of old age. They were just going to chuck them all out in the bin. I know. People need to sort of probably care more and stop chucking live things out when someone dies. Just wow. What they do is a post and say, hey, I've got some awesome cactus if someone would like them, and not resell them straight away and make a profit, because that's bad karma. But yeah, someone's awesome cactus. I do need to repot all those, because see how they've gone really pale? Not enough nutrients in that soil, where these ones, which were repotted a few years ago, are a nice green colour. So yeah, it's not where they are, because obviously green and not green, it's more the soil in there. I think there's more sand and inorganics in there than there is in those, so I just need to muck around with that. These poor things, I cannot remember the name, but they're the giant cactus from North America, grown by seed. They are very old, and they should be tons bigger than that. That one's pretty sad. That one's a little bit better, and I think that one down the back there is in between. But I need to repot them and baby them a fair bit. Yeah, and a whole lot obviously come off as I was moving them, so I just need to let them dry out before I replant them. Same with those, had to cut them down. But a lot of them are not growing well, like they're small, skinny, because they're not getting enough nutrients and enough water. So my plan is to baby them in this bed and see if I can turn them into a nice, awesome garden of cactus. Yes, they're planted pretty close together, I'm aware. I think the only issue I'm going to have with that is weeding around the bottom of them, but I might just do a layer of small fine pebbles or something just to stop noticeable weeds from getting a foothold. Yeah, if they grow through this, substrate and stuff like that, I can just rip them out a little bit easier. Behind this, oh, what a mess. Look at that. I know, this is for another day. I need to fix all these shelves and repot a whole lot of plants. And if we come around there, if we can, hello Benji, and do pats. Ooh, he's a boy. I'm gonna walk over you, watch out. Wait. Don't sit there, that's where snakes go. Really? Come on, quick, out. Go that way. Good boy. Oh my goodness, dogs. Okay, so on the fence line, yeah, look at that. They are just holding on. Those are very cool bromeliads of some type. Don't ask me what type of bromeliad, but some type. Yeah, I need to fix all this. So probably need to pull all these down and redo these. This one's holding, which is good because these weigh an absolute ton. Don't want these collapsing and taking out all these other plants. Euphorbia, which is another succulent. Check out that. That's a very cool looking plant. Yeah, they're a little bit neglected. Those are those stinky flower plants, but I need to, deal with them. A lot of cool succulents, which are growing really well. I've just repotted these three. So Euphorbia, and that is some sort of, what's the name? Aloe vera of some type, I'm pretty sure. And yeah, a whole heap of mess. Look at these. So little tiny plants and little tiny pots that have just been there for years. I know, I need to baby them all, need to get them all out of there, dealing with that. But the whole idea, I think, is the cactus here, little walkway here, and more cactus along here, because it gets early morning sun. It's not even sunny yet. I know, this is how early we are. And blinding afternoon sun hits this fence. So you get warmth, but you don't get blinding, burning sun. I think I might have a few issues with the sun hitting the top of this, but they should be okay, I would suspect. famous last words, you'll probably find that they're all fry in summer. Hopefully not. Most of these have sort of been semi-out in the open, so they're a little bit sun-hardied, but we'll find out, I guess. Otherwise, along here, we have our finger limes. I have my new hybrid sunrise lime there. As you go past. Can you not go in that area, which is a perfect area for snakes? Benji, my goodness. It's like, oh, I'm going to get bitten by a snake. No, you're not. No, you're not. But yes, there's my hybrid finger lime. Finger limes are an Australian native, and there's lots of weird hybrids now. But I've moved all the finger limes, there's lots of different types of them, under here because we have our frangipani that is going to grow its leaves back in the next 3 or 4 weeks, and that will shade all these. And we're just starting to get flowers, which means finger limes. What's that one? Oh look, the things are actually coming off. Black to maroon, a red fruit with clear light orange vessels. Yeah, so that's a finger lime, which is like a little fat grub thing, which really nice in drinks. If you've never tried a finger lime, try a finger lime. Yeah, is that the same one? That is. Oh look, have I got a double up? That's hilarious. This is what happens when you don't know what you've brought. Yep. 2 are the same. Oh, well, if one ever... And yeah, that's weird too. Look, that one has got all the little blossoms starting. This one doesn't. So maybe that one's the better one. But anyway, it is what it is. Around here, we have another awesome Euphorbia. This is not cactus. It's a Euphorbia, which is like a toxic, spiky sap thing. I know. And that is obviously crested, which just means instead of growing like a normal boring thing, it's got this really cool, funky sort of pattern to it, or growth to it, I should say. Well, growth is a pattern. Yeah, more Trichocereus along here, which I need to deal with, which I have not dealt with. All the Tillandsia looking okay, and that can happily stay there because, yeah, it's going to be shaded soon. But I do need to deal with all of these, and a lot of these are not growing properly because there's not enough nutrients in the pots. Some of them are okay, that's not a Trichocereus, but these are very slender for what they are. They should be a lot thicker than that. So yeah, one big storm and they're all going to break. So I think I'm going to replant these in bigger pots and maybe put the bigger pots along here. And instead of having 50 little tiny pots, I'll just have 4 or 5 bigger pots. Yeah, I think that's going to be a little bit more user-friendly with everything. Got new growth on that one. Lighter bits. Yeah, some weird fungal thing happening with that, but it seems to be holding on. Yeah, all the adeniums are starting to get new shoots. Every winter we lose a few of them, which is a little bit frustrating because, yeah, they sort of get a little bit too wet, too cold. Some of them though, Benji, wait. Benji, really? My goodness. Yeah, so a few of them lose leaves like that. Oh, yeah, that one's still good, but that bit is not good. Yeah, we tend to maybe lose 1 a season. I know, I probably should put them undercover, which also means that I could ideally put a canopy over this, but I don't know. We'll see how they go. I'm sure they'll be fine. Some really nice Trichocereus here, which unfortunately the tip got damaged in one of the storms, but the new ones are looking lovely. Again, don't ask me what type this is. Massive, massive spikes. Look at that. Yeah, that is crazy. Another one of the penis cactus, which, yeah, it is actually called a penis cactus. I know, it's another Trichocereus. That's a Trichocereus. These poor neglected things need a little bit of babying because, yeah, look at the crest. That is pretty mingy. So once they're babied, they will perk up. It's reverting back to normal, but it will crest again like this one, which is a, yeah, normal going into a crest. So crest just means crest. Yeah, how about that? Coffee trees are fine. They're sort of where they were, just moved them back. I've got water lilies coming in for these, so I have to move a few things around to make some more room. All the fruit trees are down here now, and yeah, they're all starting to bud to flower. So some of them have got flowers, some of them don't. Yeah, just a big mix of all sorts of stuff. There was a potential fruit there. Ooh, ah. I think some things have already got bloody fruit developing. So whatever that is, that's a lemon. So yeah, a new growth because it's just starting to turn into spring. So all the fruit trees there, and I'm pretty sure I've still got more Trichocereus lurking around here. Yeah, they're just not growing well in pots, so I need to sort them out. Too skinny. Too skinny, so not enough nutrients, not enough water. And yeah, oh, look at that. Bloody thing. Yeah, that's that palm. One of the last palms left, and it is a pain. It drops all that crap everywhere. Another Trichocereus there. These are more Euphorbia. Looks like a cactus, but it's not. It's actually looking really, really awesome. So yeah, again, toxic. They've got like a white sap to them. Don't want to get the sap on your skin or your eyes because it will burn. Very cool little spider. Being very, very cool. Yeah, but I think that's where we are. We just need to move a whole lot of these, and a whole lot of those into bigger pots, a bit more user-friendly. Hopefully, in one of the next videos, there'll be an update on this side of the garden. But that's sort of where we are, trying to make an effort in the garden. I know, still a complete jungle there. So tidy up along there, tidy up along there. All the cactus in one area would be wonderful. Then we can concentrate again on the fruit trees, and yeah, I think all the figs and that are just starting to develop leaves because they've been dormant for winter. So I need to figure out where I'm putting all the figs because they're just in random pots all over the bloody place. More Euphorbia, a lot of Euphorbia. So maybe I'll move the Euphorbia into one section as well because that's a little bit more sensible. I think if I do sections, cactus, maybe I'll do the Euphorbia along there. Ah, Benji, what are you doing? He's just waiting for snakes. Anyway, I'm going to leave that at that. And yeah, we will see you in the next video. Thank you for watching me rumble on about garden stuff. Rumble? Yeah, that's a word. Sure it is. Comment down below rumble if you reckon rumble is a word. Rumble, rumble, rumble. Probably mumble. Mumble with an R. Next.